All right, so good battle stuff here, guys. I did grab a few pop culture headlines. You want to talk about a couple of things at random here, guys? What do you
Yeah.
think? How you feeling here?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, we did have the Friends reunion
Oh, yeah.
began streaming on HBO Max last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talk about Matthew Perry. He looked, some people say he kind of looked out of it a little bit, looked kind of bloated, looked kind of whatever. Some people are concerned about his health. He has battled addiction previously, which he has spoken about openly. But beyond that, just in general, did you watch it? Are you interested in that? I have not yet seen it personally. So, Dean, I think you said you saw it. What do you think of the Friends reunion? What do you think about Matthew Perry? Any thoughts there?
If you were a fan of Friends, the show, the reunion is right up your alley. It was good. It was funny. There was a lot of cameos from guest stars from the past, from the show. Matthew Perry, I guess the reports are coming out that he had dental work that day. He had emergency dental work that day. Because I didn't think he was on drugs watching it. I actually admit, I think I made a post about it, that something was wrong with his mouth. I thought he had gotten false teeth, and that's why he wasn't A, talking that much, and B, when he was, he sounded weird. I thought he looked like somebody would look when they get false teeth.
Okay.
So when it came out that that's what it was, that I believed it.
Okay.
Like he didn't know that they were doing this filming?
Well, they said it was an emergency surgery. Like something that happened.
Okay.
Maybe he busted out a tooth, or I don't know.
Okay. So I heard you needed some emergency surgery as well, Dean, to have some wisdom teeth put in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't take.
Yep. Yeah.
We're still waiting.
Yep. Gotta find a couple more. A couple more. Did anybody else see the Friends reunion?
I did.
What did you think, Nick?
So, we talked earlier on one of our earlier episodes about this coming out and stuff, and I had mentioned big fan. Both my wife and I, literally it's on every single day. I mean, it's on as we're going to bed every night after we're done watching the shows we need to watch. It's what we fall asleep to because we've seen every episode so many times. We don't really even need to pay attention to it. We know what's going on, whatever. There were two sides of my brain, right? Like the one was the Friends fan in me that has seen every episode probably no less than 20 sometimes. Like it was enjoyable to watch some new Friends content. I kind of, you know what I mean? Like just something involving the show, but wasn't. I was glad they didn't do a new episode of them in character now, because I just feel like the show was too perfect. It didn't need that. So I thought it was a fun little, it was almost like a like a Friends con, like a Friends convention of just, them
nice
being in it and enjoying things. They did little trivia and brought up thing. They, played the game they played in one of the episodes. It was enjoyable from that aspect. The other part of me was kind of like, it took Robin and I a good probably 15, 20 minutes to really like settle in, because we're just seeing them and we're like, oh my God, they all look so weird. And Robin's like, I don't think I like this. Because we're so used to watching the show every fucking day and they look the same. And then all of a sudden, bam, they don't. And it's like weird. I don't know. I like you said, Matthew Perry's had his struggles and things like that. And Courtney Cox, I think all of them probably, except for Lisa Kudrow, Phoebe, and Matt LeBlanc, Joey, all appear to have had some work done. But those two look well. They look in their age as they should. They look natural and great. And David Schwimmer looked well also. They, honestly, they could have done the show with just those three, because those three were the most entertaining. Schwimmer, Kudrow, and LeBlanc, which Ross, Phoebe, Joey. They were the most lively and talking about things and making jokes and seemed to be really having fun with it and stuff like that. And then the other three were kind of more quiet and but there was some interesting stuff on there. I enjoyed it. I liked it. you know, it was nice to have some fresh Friends content and see people talking about the show and other people that were, you know, celebrities talk about the show and how much they enjoyed it. So it was cool. I liked it. It was a little weird at moments, but all in all, it was enjoyable.
Okay. Scott, are you a Friends fan? Are you interested in the reunion or not so much?
Nah, not really. Jen wants to watch it. She tried to talk me into it earlier, but didn't watch the show.
Did you watch the show back in the 90s or not really?
Episodes, but yeah, I haven't seen every episode, or I haven't watched it.
Are you one that doesn't quite get the appeal that some people have with this series, or what do you think about the series in general?
I remember liking it, you know, episodes I'd seen, but it was 15 seasons or something.
It did 10.
It's at least 10.
It was 10. It ran from 94 to 2004. So yeah, it was 10. That's right.
Okay. That's still a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Just one of those things that I don't feel the need, I guess, to carve out that time.
Yeah.
So. But I did hear the Matt LeBlanc thing not Matt LeBlanc, but
Matthew Perry. Yeah,
Matthew Perry. Yeah, I didn't see it, so I don't know. You know, you said that he looked like he had. You believed him that he had the dental surgery or whatever, but it didn't sound like he was high at the time. It sounded like he had some issues from being high before when I heard it.
That would make sense.
Like some, you know, cognitive issues from maybe drug abuse in the past. That's from what I heard. But like I said, I didn't see it.
I've never done drugs, but I still blame that on why I sound like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, maybe if you did more, you might find the show more entertaining. I don't know.
I definitely find this show probably more entertaining.
That's how I get here barely at 9 o'clock every week. That's
yeah.
I'm high as fuck.
May or may not be recommended. Yeah, I don't know. We talked about Friends on prior episodes. I believe, Dean, one of them was in the Best TV finale. We talked about Friends a little bit and some other shows.
We should do that.
Yeah, we should do an episode like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know, as I said before, that when that came on at the time in '94, TV was just different. Yeah, you definitely cable existed, of course, but it wasn't all the streaming services and all the competition was not around yet. So you pretty much still had, you know, network shows, whether it be on the traditional networks or cable, and the other networks didn't have a ton of interesting original content back then. So still pretty much NBC, ABC, Fox was around by then, and CBS and you know, NBC. They had the killer lineup on Thursday, so it's just the must see thing and just a different era. So I watched the series, and like I said before, toward the end of it, I'm like, I don't even know that I really like this show anymore. I've just come this far and may as well just finish it. So I don't know. So I never got the huge appeal, but I did like the characters enough to finish it. And I don't know. I will watch the reunion eventually, but it's not something that I'm, you know, going to rush out and invest an hour and a half to see. I'll catch up to it eventually. So
what happens first? Brian watches the Friends reunion, or Nick watches Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Oh, Brian watching anything before Nick watching anything.
Totally. You still have not watched the rest of Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I've watched the 3 episodes. I've seen the first 3 episodes.
You got to get on the ball.
You're halfway through it.
Yeah, finish that up, man. What are you doing? It's crazy. Okay, we did have a passing of a very big figure in pop culture, at least you know, for me growing up here. Gavin MacLeod. You may know Gavin MacLeod from Love Boat. Yes, he was Captain Stubing. Yes, thank you. And before that, he was a very popular character on the original Mary Tyler Moore show. Then, so and tons of credits. I mean, all these shows from the 60s and 70s, Hawaii Five-0, he made appearances, Hogan's Heroes, Perry Mason, McHale's Navy, Andy Griffith, Charlie's Angels, many, many more. But certainly you know him for those 2 shows in Mary Tyler Moore and The Love Boat. So Love Boat was very, very big when I was a kid. That was like a Friday night thing or whatever night it was on. It's like everybody seemed to watch it. Very, very appealing actor. Afterwards, he was a mentor to many in the acting profession. I read and different stuff. So it just seemed like a very funny man, nice, wholesome character. It seemed like, and he just passed away of, I guess, natural causes as an elderly man recently. So, Gavin MacLeod, any thoughts? Nick, that was probably way before your time. Did you watch Love Boat reruns or anything like that? Do you even know who he is, Captain Stubing, or not
Nick,
really?
would you have understood any of that if he would have said, "Hey, Nick, flabba-doo-doo-boo, boo-doo-loo-loo-loo."
I did watch that show when I was in preschool.
Same...
Yeah, I did see that one. That was a good show. I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with like the Love Boat, like
television.
I
know it was
Mary
on
Tyler
in the 70s.
Moore. I know that there were shows. Yeah, but no, those were too far before my time. I did not see any of those.
Okay,
but I'm sorry to hear of his passing.
Scott, Gavin MacLeod, you know who he was? Any Love Boat, any of those old shows growing at all? Reruns, Dick at Night, stuff like that, or no, not so much?
Nah, nothing.
Okay.
Same boat as
Would you
Nick.
recognize? Yep. Go ahead.
I just said same boat as Nick.
Okay.
The same Love Boat as Nick.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The Millennial Love Boat, Dean.
That's right, Millennial Love Boat.
Not familiar with Captain
the spinoff
Stubing.
right there.
Yeah.
The Millennial Love Boat.
That's
I
right.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like
make
that.
It happen.
Now, yeah, we're not so much
Could be a Star
love
Wars
on this boat. Could be. Could be.
I like
We're
this.
not so much love on this boat as we are just maybe it's the mutual respect boat.
Yeah.
For the millennials.
It's the acceptance boat. Yes.
Acceptance boat for
acceptance
the millennials.
Boat.
And
yeah.
it's quiet
the
because
acceptance boat.
Everybody's walking around just staring at their phones.
Huh. We're too busy liking things on Instagram to show that we accept them.
Every 5 minutes, somebody flies over the deck into the water because they're not paying attention.
Just walk over the rail. Yep. Get another life preserver out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Acceptance boat.
Hold on, don't throw the life preserver. You don't even know if he wants the life preserver. Don't just assume that he wants the fucking life preserver, okay?
That's right. Yeah, we have to write the theme of that. I like that. It almost writes itself. Yeah.
Did they give consent for the life preserver?
That's right. If you can't throw it.
Yeah, that's right. These
are good questions that need to be asked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Make sure the waiver's on.
That's right.
Oh my God. Dina, you're sort of maybe in that era where you watch some of those shows on reruns. Perhaps,
he's actually not. He just, his soul is. Like, he's only 7 years older than me. He's 6 years older than Scott.
Well, that's a lot in TV, though. Now, wait a minute.
It is.
10 years in TV. That's a lot. A lot happens in that time frame. So, I mean, earlier on in the 90s,
hold on, Nick,
Dean.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, did you watch The Love Boat with the elderly couple that lived across the street that used to sit on their porch? Dean told us a lovely story this weekend that when he was, 8, 9, 10 years old?
Something like that. In the ballpark.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you were the kid. There was an old couple that lived across the street. Go ahead and
There was an older couple that lived across the street, and I would go
squirrels.
That watched squirrels, and I would go over and hang out and spend time with them and talk with them, and they would, she would bring me iced tea, and we would chat.
That's nice.
It is nice.
That's nice. He would shake his head disparagingly at the children playing kickball and say, "Get off their lawn!" Like but he enjoyed being with them, and that was nice. And squirrel watching, that's good.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened. I don't really. That had to have been towards the end of the night that I told you that story, huh?
It was, yeah.
Okay,
I remember.
Right. I remember.
So did they watch The Love Boat?
Yeah,
or no?
No, I remember watching The Love Boat. With the family at night on TV. Yeah, just I don't think it was something that I sat down an appointment viewing for. I think it was something that if it was on, it was on, and You know, I think what I remember the most about is just all the guest stars. Each week you just see what celebrity was going to be on the Love Boat.
Right. This week on Love Boat, Charo.
Right.
You know, stuff like that. Yeah. You guys don't even know what Charo is either. Sorry.
I was going to say, I would love you guys to give some examples so I can say I've never heard of any
Waylon Jennings and Madam on Love Boat. I don't know, stuff like that.
Or they'd have didn't they do a crossover one time with Fantasy Island? They had
I think they did.
Yeah, Ricardo Montalban.
And sounds.
Yeah.
That's a silly sound you made.
That sounds interesting. Yeah. You know, that's a show I want to go back and.
I love saying that name though, Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Al and I went back and watched the first season of Buck Rogers in the 21st century. And
I tried that. At least one episode.
There's 2 seasons of that, by the way. Season 1 is fantastic, fantastically bad, good.
Right.
And you go back and watch some of that stuff. It's like, this was categorized as family television at one point, and this is wow. I mean, I remember why, and one reason why I liked it so much as a kid with
her outfit,
seeing Aaron Gray. That suit could not be any tighter on a human being and stuff like that. And there's other shows like that too, Dukes of Hazzard and all these shows. But Love Boat was kind of one of those too. That was sort of, you get those racy subject matter and stuff like that. So
it was sunny, and there's people in bikinis or sundresses or
And so I think I want to go back and watch. I think I want to go back and watch The Love Boat just to check out a few episodes and see. It's probably in that same vein of, this is so bad at the time, but it's good.
Absolutely.
Just a different time. That's all.
I was just wondering, in talking about all these shows, if you guys were trying to get Scott to be the first person to unsubscribe to the podcast while being a guest on the podcast.
You're talking about unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Maybe subscribe. What are you talking about?
What's Scott doing? I'm just unfollowing all you guys on all the socials actually right now.
This is goddamn gold. We're about to talk about Gopher.
Yeah. We're just trying to get one extra listen at a time. We're just going to invite everybody that we know to get, at least we'll get that one listen.
There you go.
Actually, we're starting with the AARP crowd, and then we're going to move down.
Maybe we get Aunt Corky to listen to one with her son on this. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so
is there anything more hip in the news, Brian? Something Nick and Scott can understand?
This I found interesting was that John.
Well,
John
this isn't
Davis,
looking good for you two.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm not sure. So you guys know who.
I'm glad
just taking it all in.
Milli Vanilli. Now, you know who Milli Vanilli is?
I do. Yes.
Do you guys know who Milli Vanilli is?
Yeah,
Nick, Scott?
I have. Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard the name. I guess I don't know.
It was the singers that got caught for lip syncing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like early 90s. They came out like late 80s, but like early 90s, they won a Grammy for Best New Artist, and then they came out and said that they,
And then they had to give it back.
Right, yeah, because they were lip syncing, and they were just... Yeah, girl, you know it's true. Yeah.
That's right. So they won a Grammy for Best New Artist in 1990, right? And then you're right. They had to give it back because it came out that the guys were just lip syncing. But John Davis, one of the real voices behind the infamous group Milli Vanilli, he passed away from coronavirus at 66 years of age. So he was the main vocalist in those songs that you just mentioned that made Milli Vanilli famous.
So he was Rob Pilatus's voice probably then.
Let's see here now. I don't know that it really says, but he did go on, by the way, and he did form let's see.
I've got a quick question.
So one of the guys, the guy with the braid. Now, one guy, I think the one guy killed himself.
Rob did, yeah, in like 98 or 7, I want to say.
I've got a question though.
But it was the other guy that was in the band. Sorry, this guy went on and actually made music with the other guy in Milli Vanilli.
Oh,
and it was a mentor to him and all of that. So, seemed like a nice guy. Definitely was vocally talented, and I was sad to see that. Certainly, he was a very big story in the 90s. Go ahead, Dean. What are you going to say?
I just had a quick question. in preparation for this show, Brian, did you say, I need some stories? Who has the obituaries?
It seems that way. I just looked up there's not a whole lot in the world of pop culture this week. So those two stories came up right away when I searched.
Boy, this is the
week in pop
AARP crowd.
culture.
Yeah. So who died? Who died? Did you get the paper?
You
Who
remember,
died
Fran?
recently?
You remember Fran? Yeah, she went peacefully in her sleep. Fran died 3 years ago. That would explain why she was sleeping.
Yep. That's right. All right, last thing I had, guys, and then anything you all said, Cruella began streaming on Disney Plus over the weekend, and it was over the weekend, like late last week.
Okay.
And actually, some of the opinions it was better reviewed by some than I anticipated. So some have called it one of the better Disney movies in a while, as far as it's definitely adult themed. It's kind of dark humor. Emma Stone is supposed to be pretty decent in it. I have not seen it. To me, it's kind of hard for me to get to whatever they're doing to the original character of literally making fur coats out of puppy fur. But they have to kind of do something with it. Anyway, I thought it was a creative thing anyway. So any interest in Cruella? Have you seen it? Do you plan on watching it? Or nope, not interested at all?
I don't really care about the movie much, but that Emma Stone, I would definitely check her oil.
Mm-hmm.
Classy.
Okay.
That's what he does here. That's why
That's
we keep
me.
Him.
Nick, would you check my oil?
What I would check, I believe I did on Saturday or Sunday, whichever night that was. That was after you told the story about the old couple. You probably don't recall that either. No, there was.
Get y'all fired up.
I'd be interested to see it. It's now that's the thing with Disney, right? So I already pay for Disney Plus. I'm not going to pay you extra to have premium and see shit as soon as it comes out. Like I think starting next week, our kids can finally watch that Raya and the Last Dragon or whatever that came out like in April or something like that. But now it's going to be streaming in June, so I'll wait to see it. I'm already paying for Disney Plus. I'll just wait. But I did see the trailer of it and the poster, and it looked, very. Like old fashioned, look kind of like different than what I expected it to be. And it looks like I'm intrigued by it. It looks pretty cool. So I will watch it when it becomes available complimentary with my already, what is it? $11.99 I pay to them every month or whatever it is, $13.99. So.
Okay. Scott, any interest in Cruella?
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it once it gets to be free on the Disney Plus.
Yeah.
What is it, like $25 to watch those movies on top of
I
what
think,
it is?
it's like, is that a monthly thing or is
dumb.
it just for the movie? I think it's a monthly, like you can pay monthly for it, right?
I think it's just to rent it.
Oh, really?
I think that's what they're doing.
I mean, if it was $25 a month, like you better have like a new movie every
single month. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think you get the premium. It's like you like he said, you pay for the streaming to watch it early, and then I mean, certainly with that model, I think we're going to see more of that in general because if you're a family of 3 or 4, that's it's certainly a lot cheaper than going to the theater for a movie that's like, we want to see a movie. I don't want to pay $50 to go see this one. Right. We'll wait around till it comes out. It's sort of that mid-tier type thing. I think we're going to see more of that for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm kind of with you guys. I'm sort of intrigued. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, if you've got a nice, like, home theater room where you can have people over, everyone pitches in. It makes sense at that point. But drop $25 on something that I'll get later, a couple weeks.
See, I agree with you guys, but I also my second viewing of Mortal Kombat, we went to see in the theater. We watched it first time here at the house, and I got a pretty decent sized TV and sounds pretty good. It's just me and my son, we enjoy that the experience of the movies with the popcorn and the whole deal, and especially now there's nobody in the theaters, so you pretty much got it to yourself.
Well, but like I said, you're paying more for the experience of the theater and spending time with your son and enjoying all that type of stuff. So for you, that's worth it. So
yes,
bigger family may not be worth
of course
as much. All right. Anyway,
Nick got tired of us.
Yep, that's right. That's right. That's what I got, guys. Anything else you have in the world of pop culture? It was a pretty slow week in pop culture headlines from what I looked anyway. So
actually,
go ahead.
Amazon has purchased MGM Studios.
Oh, I did see that. You're right.
Which
yes.
for like $8 billion or $2 billion,
like
2.8, I think, $2.8 billion.
Yes.
Wow.
So they will have all their property and stuff. So you have shows like what is it, The Handmaid's Tale that's on Netflix. Who knows where that? Do they keep that?
Or Hulu.
With the rights of Net or Hulu? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do they keep that, or do they move it over to Prime? There's going to be a lot of shows that in movies that are going to be canceled. That are probably in production or pre-production, and then again, there's going to be some that's going to open up wide for others. So it's going to be a lot of stuff moving and shaking here soon for MGM and Amazon.
Yeah, I saw certainly one of the biggest properties in MGM is the James Bond films.
Yeah.
But I also heard that it wasn't that clean of an arrangement because of the producers of the James Bond films. They have some controlling rights there too. Go ahead.
I think there's like a certain group of people, like a controlling interest type, like you said, like the people that own the property of James Bond isn't the studio themselves. So like the name and likeness or whatever is owned by somebody else, or probably a group or something like that.
The Broccoli family and somebody else too. They've had that for years. Those entities. So yeah, I don't know if they have to negotiate or what's going on there. Yeah,
I didn't read the article, but I saw like a headline. Probably maybe an opinion piece, but something about that they wanted somebody was interested in making the James Bond films like a Star Wars type thing, to where it's like a whole universe of James Bond. I mean, I don't know if you go supernatural on this shit and do like Doctor Who type thing or whatnot, but
you could do a lot more with that character, frankly, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, because you see some of these other shows that are out there that are. What's that one that John Krasinski, whatever? What's he in? What's that?
Right. Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Yeah, so you would assume that you see something like that. It certainly was a successful movie franchise, but it wasn't at the level of James Bond popularity. So you would think they could create something like that. Like you say, even in the world of James Bond, could be other 00 agents. You could do spinoffs there. You can maybe do a younger James Bond, or you could do all kinds of different things to expand that universe. And that'd be interesting. M's Path would be fantastic.
Right.
Q branch, and do something with that. Right. There's a whole lot of stuff you could do that they can't just get into in the theater that, fans of that character and franchise would be interested. I would be interested in that type of stuff.
Sure. The whole universe of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jaws, not the shark, the TV series. You see how you got the teeth, perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just,
Let's do the pitch thing. Pitch us on this. Go.
Odd Job, the series. How did he get the hat? How did he learn to throw it? Yeah, we're about an hour in. Anything else? Any interest? Any thoughts on the MGM Amazon purchase, guys? Any thoughts there? Any interest, or not something you really caught or you care about?
I just want whoever's gonna pick Happy Endings, the TV show, back up and give me more seasons of that. Dean sent me a link on Facebook that something about Netflix is trying to do that. So whoever gets that done, if it's Bezos or whoever, I don't give a shit. Get that show back to me, please.
I'm all in for it.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Dean, I heard you had a lot of happy endings at the elderly couple's house across the street. I don't know.
A boy doesn't kiss and tell.
Yep.
A boy doesn't get lured into a basement and tell.
This iced tea is making me sleepy again.
Yeah, is that a Ben Gay burn on your penis?
What happened? Oh, I missed the Love Boat again. Oh, darn it. I'm tired.
Oh, you didn't miss it.
Yeah.
You were just asleep for it.
Why do my pants smell like the menthol, the Hall, not the, what's that? Vicks Vapor Rub. That's it.
Vicks Vapor
Rub. Yeah. Our grandmother was so as second I was growing up. Now you missed this window, growing up. But the second I would have a sniffle, it was the menthol rub. Oh
The
my
vapor
God,
rub,
Grandma, the vapor rub. Grandma was big on the chest vapor. Oh my God, just all that stuff was. Ugh. Anyway, all right. Any other headlines, guys? Before we wrap it up.
No, that's all I had was just that MGM and Amazon thing.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I just come here to talk to you guys, so I didn't come with anything.
Okay.
Scott, and you agreed with me this week, so
I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For a change.
Yeah. It was weird.
Shocking.
It was weird. Probably won't do it again, but it was weird. Yeah.
Scott, anything else you have as I believe our first guest. Yes.
First guest.
Right. First guest on the show. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Man.
I didn't think it was possible, but our cherries got popped.
Yeah.
Look at
that.
Go.
Yeah, for the second time, beyond that, the nice couple across from Dean's house growing up.
And all I had to do was pay with ham gravy.
Yes.
All right.
Well, I speak for all of us, I think, when I say, Scott, thank you very much for
man, this is cool.
First of all, for ever hearing one of our episodes and saying something, Brian, but we enjoyed having you on. Thank you very much for stopping by. This was good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do it again whenever you're interested. We'll do it again.
Anytime.
Next time I'll have a better setup. Be a little more prepared, hopefully. I only had 12 hours today to think about it, but
it's all good. Right. Most people choose not to watch us; they just listen. So you're good. They can hear you. You're good.
Yeah.
Wise decision. Decision.
Yep. And okay, so. And by the way, last week the video is ready, and I'm having trouble uploading to YouTube. I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately. I'm not sure. So we will try to get last week's episode up for you guys out there, and certainly this one will get out there on podcast and video very, very soon. So on that note, Nick, do you mind reminding the folks out there where we can be seen and heard, sir?
I do not mind. You can check us out on YouTube and Facebook by searching for Convincing Idiots. We are also on Twitter, and that's at Convincing Idiot with no S. We are on TikTok at Convincing Idiots. We're on Instagram at Convincing_idiots. We can be reached via email. That's convincingidiots@gmail.com. Or you can just go to our Linktree where you can get all that shit right out for you. Google Convincing Idiots, Linktree, linktr.ee. It'll come right up. It'll take you to all of those places. We're available wherever you like to listen to podcasts. So ask your home assistant device to play the Convincing Idiots podcast, and hopefully they'll find the right one, the best one, us, and take you here. So for this,
look first in your dreams. That's right.
There you go. You go. Yes.
You're touching yourself. I knew it. I knew you were touching yourself.
Yeah. I mean, typically. But yes.
That's normally your outro for the show.
That's true.
I get so excited.
So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Nick.
I'm Dean.
I'm Brian.
This was Scott. Have we convinced you to touch yourselves the next time you listen to Convincing Idiots?
Ham gravy.